Hello everybody, and thank you for coming along to this seminar. It's good to see you, and I hope you're finding the Expo valuable and making lots of useful contacts. The subject of our session today is Employees' Financial Wellbeing, a three-step solution to supporting your team. My name is James Richards. I'm Business Development Manager at Commsave, one of the UK's largest credit unions. I've been with Commsave for around 3.5 years now, and my career in the credit union sector stretches back to the early 2000s. One of my great passions, what gets me out of bed in the morning, is speaking to people and helping them to achieve financial well-being, getting access to the financial services they need when they need them. Now at Commsave we support people from a really diverse set of backgrounds, so we're familiar with seeing up close the challenges that many are facing making ends meet. So all successful businesses care about the well-being of their employees, and as the old saying goes, look after them and they'll look after your customers. But what do we really mean by financial well-being? And what can employers do for their staff in context of the cost of living crisis? In a recent survey conducted by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, 70% of respondents cited the cost of living crisis as one of their biggest challenges for 2023. So against the backdrop of double-digit inflation and soaring energy bills, what more can employers do to prioritise financial well-being for their teams? So in this presentation I'm going to be looking at what financial well-being means, what does it look like in practice. I've got some slides that help us to understand the scale of the challenge we face and how this impacts us as employers. And I'm then going to outline a three-step solution showing how a work-based scheme can make a significant impact on the financial well-being of our teams. The slides will take about 20 minutes to run through, and we'll have time for a Q&A at the end. So looking first at the challenge around financial well-being, let's put some context on our discussions here today. Here are some figures from the Money charity. In November 2022, the latest figures we have, total unsecured debt, so we're talking regular personal loans, credit cards and so on, per UK adult stood at £3,913. Citizens Advice dealt with 2,120 debt queries every day in the year to December 2022. And in the quarter from October to December 22, there was an average of 319 individual insolvencies every day. And perhaps most startling of all, only one in five UK working age adults in the UK has no savings at all. Households in the United Kingdom have experienced a significant fall in living standards since late 2021. Inflation in the year to December 22 was running at 10.5%. And as of January 2023, 92% of UK households reported that their cost of living had increased compared with a year earlier. The households in question mainly attributed this to higher food, electricity and fuel costs. And on average, a UK household spends £4.12 a day on water, electricity and gas. And the crisis is even more acute for the poorest UK households, which typically spend a higher proportion of their income on food and housing costs. Based on forecasts from the autumn budget of 2022, real household disposable income in the UK will fall by 4.3% in the 2022-23 financial year, the biggest fall in living standards since the mid-1950s when this type of data was first produced. And of course, money worries don't just stay at home. The stress that results from money worries carries over into the workplace. Employers everywhere are now recognising the links between financial concerns and poor mental health among their employees. Statistics show that stress is the main cause of long-term sickness absence in British industry, with 70% of employees have reported being affected at work by money worries. The annual cost of sickness absence to businesses in this country is estimated at £554 per employee. And these issues impact all kinds of business, whatever their size, sector or location. Money worries contribute to employees experiencing poor mental health, which results in absenteeism and presenteeism, with businesses left counting the cost of high levels of staff turnover. Against this backdrop, what can organisations do to support their employees' well-being? Well, most firms these days are aware of the importance of physical well-being and often promote things like healthy eating and cycle-to-work schemes. Many firms are also doing great things to support the mental well-being of their teams, with awareness having increased substantially in the last 10 years or so. However, one area in which a significant number of companies have been much less active is financial well-being. Ask many business leaders about what they're doing to support employees' financial well-being, and they'll mention things like salary advances or laying on a budgeting workshop. So, what do we mean by financial well-being? Well, this definition is taken from the Money and Pensions Service, and I think sums up rather well the various elements that contribute to financial well-being. So financial well-being is about feeling secure and in control. It's about making the most of your money from day to day, dealing with the unexpected and being on track for a healthy financial future. In short, financially resilient, confident and empowered. A couple of research reports from the last few years give us a valuable insight into employees' perceptions of their money worries. These are the Financial Lives Survey from 2020 and a report called State of Financial Wellbeing from March 2020. The research revealed that 24% of employees worry about money every day, with 57% worrying about their finances on at least a weekly basis. Only just over half, 51% of employees think that their employer supports them with money, while 65% want more help from their employers. And of real concern is this last statistic: 68% of employees whose money worries have worsened have not told their employer. So what are employers already doing in the area of financial well-being? This slide contains a range of typical types of practical support that employers can give, from offering interest-free season ticket loans for travel, to enabling staff to work from home, to providing cost of living payments to help staff meet their rising expenses. Each of these has its place and provides valuable support to employees with stretched budgets. However, things like salary advances are fixes for the short to medium term. What they're not necessarily doing is helping for the long term. And I would contend that there is more that we can do to improve employees' financial well-being and resilience for the long term. And this is where the three-step solution comes in. So this section of the presentation sets out the three-step process, explaining the benefits of offering a work-based solution to financial well-being. The key lies in enabling employees to access the financial products and information they need when they need them. The first element is giving employees the facilities to save regularly through payroll deduction. The second is giving staff access to affordable borrowing. And the third is providing them with access to useful money resources. And the good news is you don't need to become a bank to do any of these things. There are a number of third parties already operating in this space who can work with you to help your staff. So let's just take a look at each one of these elements in turn. The first point to make is that enabling employees to save regularly through payroll deduction, providing this as a work-based solution, is effective because it reaches a large number of people. Any employer can make a significant difference to the well-being of their staff by offering such a facility. Giving staff the means to save regularly and access to a range of savings accounts helps them to budget, with the accounts acting like jam jars to cover different savings goals. Saving can also be incentivised in different ways, whether it's providing a direct financial incentive to sign up for an account or offering rewards for regular saving. The second aspect of the strategy is giving staff access to affordable borrowing. This recognises that most people will need to borrow at some point in their lives, so the objective should be to enable them to do so safely and affordably. Offering this as part of a work-based solution reduces the risk of staff turning to high-cost credit like payday lenders, or worse still, illegal loan sharks. It's estimated that 1 million people in the UK are in debt to illegal money lenders, and data from England's illegal money lending team suggests that more than half of victims, 52%, who had borrowed from loan sharks had done so to pay for food and fuel. With a work-based solution, loan repayments can be made direct from pay, helping to avoid missed payments and helping somebody with an impaired credit score to improve their history. Furthermore, having the facility to save even just a few pounds a week alongside making loan repayments helps to reduce future borrowing needs by building up a pool of savings to fall back on, turning borrowers into savers. A complementary aspect of this approach to financial well-being is providing access to useful money resources, equipping employees with the knowledge to make informed choices about their finances. This can include information on matters like putting together a personal budget and how to seek professional money advice, alongside tools such as retirement planners. A related area that can help employees to make the right decisions about money is understanding their financial behaviours, examining psychological factors such as what type of advertising someone is vulnerable to. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a recent research project that helps to evidence the benefit of offering a payroll-based approach to financial well-being. This research report was published in February of 2021 and was titled, February 2021, and was titled Getting Workforces Saving, Payroll Schemes with Credit Unions. The report was the result of a 2-year research project supported by the Money and Pensions Service, which was designed to look at the impact on levels of household saving deriving from membership of credit union payroll facilities. The research was conducted in partnership with 2 large employers, Leeds City Council and NHS York, who together employ more than 23,000 staff. Nearly 3,000 surveys were carried out during the research in addition to a series of interviews, and here are some of the key findings. Firstly, the research demonstrated that credit unions are effective at reaching lower income households. 54% of the employees surveyed who were credit union members had household income under £35,000 a year. The percentage of the wider workforce with household incomes less than this figure was 42%, demonstrating how payroll deduction schemes are an effective way of reaching those most at risk of financial exclusion. The second key finding was that having access to payroll deduction as a means of saving is effective in attracting non-savers. Some 59% of the employees surveyed who had joined their credit union reported that they had rarely or never saved before. This compares with just 14% who said that they already saved on a regular basis. And this supports the idea that having savings deductions taken direct from pay before an employee's salary hits their bank account makes it easier to get non-savers into the savings habit. The third finding from the research was that being a member of a payroll scheme makes it more likely that employees will save regularly. 66% of members surveyed said that they saved every month, a figure which rose to 72% once the member had been part of the payroll facility for more than 12 months. In comparison, only 52% of employees who were not part of the respective payroll facilities said that they saved every month. The next finding, and perhaps the most important, was the positive impact that being part of a payroll scheme has on reducing employees' levels of financial anxiety and stress. 60% of members who had been saving through payroll for more than 12 months reported that thinking about money made them anxious. This represents a significant reduction from the 74% of more recently joined members who had not yet had the opportunity to save on a regular basis. This finding supports the concept that membership of a work-based savings scheme helps to reduce employees' money-related stress. The fifth and final key finding from the research was the way in which payroll saving increases staff resilience. 41% of employees with incomes between £17,500 and £25,000 who were not members of the scheme said they could only cover their regular expenses and bills for less than 1 month. The corresponding figure for members of the payroll savings scheme was reduced to 31%, with more employees in that income bracket able to cover expenses for a longer period. The same pattern was found for those employees with incomes from £25,000 to £35,000, with 35% of non-members unable to cover key expenses for a month, compared with 25% of payroll scheme members. The result of offering employees this kind of support is a boost to the financial well-being of the staff team. This is apparent through reduced instances of staff taking time off due to money-related stress. Employees become more financially resilient through building savings and borrowing affordably, helping employers to cut the costs of absence and to increase productivity. So just to wrap up, let's think about some of the practical steps that you can take after this session. Well, firstly, I'd encourage you to review what your company is doing at the moment to support employees with their financial well-being. Secondly, ask your team what they think. Maybe prepare a simple survey and ask your teams what support they think would be beneficial to them. And then thirdly, put in place a package of measures designed to help your staff achieve long-term financial well-being. The nature of the solutions may differ from workplace to workplace, but I would encourage you to think about how you can put in place the 3-step solution for your business. Thank you to everybody for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be around on our stall if you'd like to talk to me there. Thank you.